are thieves. They are believed to be determined killers.
As far as I know, the head of the International Red Cross, for example, people who are experts on human rights issues say bluntly and clearly what you're doing is against all kind of human rights conventions.
But there was a fundamental problem.
Well, the only thing I know for certain is that these are bad people.
The United States had at one point in time signed the Geneva Convention, and there it stated that prisoners of war need only to answer 4 questions: name, rank, nationality, and ID number. 4 simple questions won't get you very far when you need answers to hundreds of questions. And a prison camp full of prisoners of war who only need to answer 4 questions is a useless prison camp. But there were no other rules. And leaders from countries who had citizens at Guantanamo started to get a little worried.
Prime Minister, the first matter he brought up was the Swedish prisoner. He was very forthright, very frank, and very concerned about the prisoner.
The situation seemed to be out of control.
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay has become, in fact, simply a large interrogation camp.
What nobody knew was that the president had written a letter that only the president's inner circle were aware of. And in the letter he wrote that there was a new paradigm in the world. And the rules were no longer defined by the United States, but by terrorists. This new world order got him thinking. And after extensive discussion, he came to the simple conclusion: the Geneva Convention could not be applied to terrorists. And for that reason, he came up with a new word for the prisoners at Guantanamo: unlawful combatants. No one had heard this word before, and no one knew what consequences this word would come to have.
Our nation is at war, our economy is in recession, and the civilized world faces unprecedented dangers. Yet the state of our union has never been stronger. The American flag flies again over our embassy in Kabul. Terrorists who once occupied Afghanistan now occupy cells at Guantanamo Bay.
Currently the weather in Guantanamo, scattered clouds, temperature last hour of 86 degrees, the winds out of the north at 12 miles per hour.
My name is Lieutenant Moss. I'll be one of your escorts during your stay here. Petty Officer First Class Sherwood is another one of your escorts. The wildlife here is very unique. You'll see iguanas, and you'll see hutillas. Hutillas are also known as banana rats. With the iguanas, please don't feed them. They may come up to you because people do feed them. They can be very friendly, and at times their friendliness could turn into a bite. So, you know, you can observe them, but please no feeding the iguanas, and be careful when you're around them. I'm sure you'll probably want to get some footage of one. We also do have boas here. You probably won't see one, but you never know. So that's pretty much our wildlife here.
Yes, on your right-hand side, you can see the Guantanamo Bay Golf Course. It's a 9-hole golf course.
We're at Guantanamo, or Gitmo as the army nicknamed it. We still haven't met Matty. He's still being held in here. Most of the time we spend on this bus touring all the recreational activities available to the soldiers stationed here.
On your right-hand side, you're going to see the baseball and football fields that we have available for the MWR activities. That's morale and welfare. recreation.
When the operation first started out here, it was something that was new. And just like with everything, you want to constantly improve it. And the U.S. military puts a lot of emphasis on pride in trying to improve the living standards for its troops to keep morale high. We're talking about opening up a Kentucky Fried Chicken or a Pizza Hut on base. And we have a McDonald's here now. We have a Subway here. So slowly we're improving the condition of the soldiers. And this is just part of it right here.
But we haven't come here to take part in the soldiers' delight over the variety of fast food. We want to know what's really going on in here. Here we are outside of the gates to Camp Delta, where the prisoners are kept. The white guy is Sergeant Barry Johnson, the man behind the scenes who have the authorities over our guides. The black man is Colonel Adolph McQueen, the man responsible for camp security.
Can you tell us how much, as much as you can tell us, how the detainees are living, how they're doing?
We are American soldiers, and in being American soldiers, we come with a way of life, a democracy that provides the rights to people to be treated humanely, fair, firm, and consistent.
How do you do that?
Because I'm a military professional. And as a military professional, I've been given a mission. And that mission says that I will safely secure the detainees within Camp Delta and that I will provide a humane treatment.
Because I just want to... Yeah, I know.
Last question.
Last question, okay. The family, for example, the family of the Swedish detainee, you know, they don't know why he's here. They thought that he went to study. They have no information. They haven't been able to see him for a year. What would you tell them if you met them? What would you say to them?
I would tell them from the detention standpoint, each and every detainee here is being treated humanely. We allow them to write 2 letters and 4 postcards a month here. They're getting 3 meals a day. We allow them to practice their religion in the confinement that they're in. And that if they have any types of medical issues or concerns, those are addressed appropriately, and the treatment here is always fair, firm, and consistent.
När kan du komma här?
Kanske ungefär mer än en vecka i alla fall.
Om en vecka?
Kanske någon tid.
We're still trying to convince Mehdi to take this opportunity to tell us what happened. But something always seemed to come up, making it difficult for us to meet. But now he's promised to help us to get in touch with other prisoners released from Guantanamo. This is Jamal from Manchester, who was with Mehdi in Guantanamo. And there is Mehdi, who still has not decided if he wants to talk.
How did you meet each other?
You know, I don't even remember the first meeting. I just remember us speaking. I know, because what they would do, the Americans would put you next to each different people to see if you know that person from before, or if that person speaks English. They'd put you next to that person to see, you know, is there any connection with these guys from, you know, maybe they might have known each other from before.
Do you think that was part of a method to...
Oh, yeah, because people were constantly moved around.
What got to you personally? Was it the cold treatment? Or
I wouldn't say.
The medicine or what?
I won't answer that, because I wouldn't like to let them know. So I'll refuse to answer that one and skip it.
But because for me, the most crucial thing here is to be locked without knowing when you are released.
Maybe.
It seems to be a lot harder to talk about what happened to them in Guantanamo.
Yeah.
Especially for Mehdi. Maybe because he's devoted 2 years to keeping silent.
Alltså, de började använda mer fysisk tortyr och så här mot mig. Och jag hade samarbete med amerikanerna och pratade med dem allt vad de frågade och ville ha svar på. Ungefär 1,5 år. Men sedan blev det för mycket så jag slutade prata med dem helt enkelt ungefär i 2 år. Och de började använda de här metoderna som ni har hört. Att jag har blivit i förhörsrummen, får vara där ungefär 14 timmar. Och de hade satt på aircondition ungefär 13 minusgrader.